He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to our match reaction for Motherwell 1, Celtic 3. And it feels like one of those match reactions. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to say it how it is. It feels like one of those match reactions where I don't even need to talk about the game of football. I think there was one thing that we all really wanted to see today. Well, two things we really wanted to see today. Number one, Celtic win. Of course, we want to see Celtic continue their dominance, continue their stranglehold at the top of the Scottish Premiership and keep that very healthy gap between us and Rangers. But aside from an obvious Celtic win, which we all wanted to see this afternoon, the other thing we all wanted to see was Jota to return and Jota to score for Celtic. And quite frankly, that's what we got. We got exactly that. And I am a very happy man, if you can't tell. He nearly got me going there when the camera panned to him and he had a wee tear in his eye. He nearly got me going. I nearly joined him. What a feeling. It's 2025, February 2025 to be precise. Jota is back in a Celtic shirt scoring goals for Celtic. It's pinch me stuff. I mean, I said that about him signing, didn't I? When he first came back here, when he got through the door last week, I said that. I said to myself, this is a pinch me type thing. It feels like you're living in a dream that it shouldn't be happening. It quite frankly felt wrong. And here we are, a week or so on from those initial reports of him coming back to seeing him score for Celtic. Last kick of the ball. He had to do it. It was in the stars. That Jota had to come back today and score for Celtic. I've missed him so much. And it's just a reminder, that goal, that moment there, of how special a player he is and how happy that we all are to see him back as a Celtic player. So as I said, it's one of those days where I feel like a single moment, a huge moment, has just bypassed the whole game itself. I feel like that's what we were all here for. But listen, we've got a lot to unpack, including Jota's goal, which we will come to. What an afternoon. What a feeling at Celtic. It's exactly the type of feeling I wanted from today's game. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe, by the way. That would be much appreciated. The reason I say it's exactly what I wanted from today's game is because I think over the past 48 hours maybe, there's been a lot of pessimism surrounding Celtic and a lot of anxiety, in particular to do with this transfer window and the potential end to the transfer window we're about to see at Celtic. We had to go out today and reassure Celtic fans. I think there's some that are probably more calm than others, including me. I feel particularly calm heading into these last couple of days, and I know that's not the case all round. I've seen my comment section to yesterday's video. Yesterday's video is maybe one of the most controversial videos I've done on this channel. The comment section went off at me for maybe taking a more relaxed approach to the mess of a transfer window this has maybe turned into. But the reason that I have been more relaxed, and the reason that I'm not as angry or anxious or nervous about the end, is because that group of players there and that manager know what they're doing. And I don't think it's a call for disaster. We needed to go out there today and reassure Celtic fans, and I think that's what they've done with a very good performance, and a performance that assures me that there is quality in the right areas. Maybe not the depth that we need. That's 100. I'm not going to sit here and lie through my teeth that we're fully equipped for the challenges ahead with the squad we have right now. But what we do have is a returning Jota who is hungry to be the player that he once was. We have Dyson Maeda and Nicholas Kuhn, the two best wingers in the country, who are both in electric form. Dyson Maeda today with another fantastic performance. And we have a striker who is ready to answer the questions. A striker who is ready to prove the doubters wrong. We're all going on about who's going to replace Kyogo, what we're going to do. There's a reason we spent £9 million on Adam Ida. One of his best performances, I think, for Celtic this afternoon. He's turned a bit of a corner with his form in the last 2 or 3 games. If he can keep that up, that's your starting striker for the rest of the season. Yes, I'm not sitting here saying that the rest of this window is irrelevant and that a result against Motherwell means that the tomorrow deadline day is a piece of cake for Celtic. Don't put words in my mouth. Tomorrow is still a huge day, and Celtic can't overlook the business that needs to be done. We are short in areas. We do need the sufficient depth to compete, to go and win this treble, to take Bayern Munich to at least some form of competition. Of course we do, but what we needed today was the reassurance and the confidence booster, and maybe just that injection of optimism that the Celtic support have been missing since the reported breakdown in talks of Matthias Kvisgaarden, the breakdown of talks for Kelechi Iheanacho, with Kyogo leaving the club, and with all those questions that surround where the Celtic squad is at the moment. Just a bit of calm, a bit of confidence. That's what was needed, and I do genuinely believe that's what the performance gave us today. If you don't agree with me, fair enough. If that's not your opinion of what came from this afternoon, but I watched that game there thinking, we'll be fine for the rest of this season. Just don't overlook what we need. Do something rather than nothing. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And if you want to say that's me happy clapping or being a bold apologist, as some were calling me yesterday, fire on. Fire on. But what a performance today. Let's talk about it. I was very impressed with what I seen from Celtic. And I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start, could you? Because within 1 minute of the game, I think it was 52 seconds to be precise, Dyson Maeda had this 1-0 up at Fir Park. It was a fantastic worked goal. A brilliant goal, in fact, I would go as far to say. A great header, great cross from Anthony Ralston, by the way, and just generally a very nice goal on the eyes. We started the game strong and laid a marker down early doors, and it's the kind of game that you want to go into with a strong start, because we've seen how difficult Fir Park can be. This time last year we went to Fir Park and it could have been a game in which we handed Rangers a massive advantage in the title race, and granted the stakes were nowhere near that level of danger today, but what it was a game that we still had to win and give us a bit of positivity, and starting in the fashion that we did. I mean, you can't argue it, can you? Dyson Maeda has just been unbelievable this season, and what a first half he had in particular. I thought he was absolutely fantastic today. A goal and an assist, a goal and 2 assists, in fact, overall. He had a great first and second half, but particularly that first half, where he was just everywhere on the park. And the goal is a reminder of how Dyson Maeda can do different things that sometimes you don't particularly expect. He can score all different types of goals, and somebody who don't see score headers all that often. I feel like most of his goals are always coming from, I don't know, him on the run, or maybe even a wee tap in. Just reminders that he can do different things. And Brendan Rodgers has been out there already to say, I don't want Dyson Maeda to be a striker. It's not in my intentions to allow him to be one of the options as a striker for the rest of this season. He wants to sign an out-and-out striker, right? I know I just said the word striker a lot there, but bear with me. I know that Brendan Rodgers has made that abundantly clear, and I stand with the manager on that. I don't think we should allow that to happen. But it's a reminder that Dyson Maeda can do the job, scoring goals, wherever he's placed in that forward line. You think about what he's done since he came into Celtic. He's played in the left, he's played in the right, he's played through the middle on different occasions. He's been asked to do so much. He is Celtic's utility man. And usually utility man would maybe imply that you're not the greatest player, that you're just used to do certain tasks and you fill in when you're needed. No, he's the best type of utility man, Dyson Maeda. He can do everything and anything that you ask of him. And for the anomaly of a player that he can sometimes be, you know, we've seen him hit a shot today, I think they went skying over the bar. He still scores. His output this season has been unbelievable in terms of goals and assists. And that's another goal and 2 assists from this afternoon. Brilliant. And once again, just that reassurance that I feel like our starting front line right now is fantastic. It is just that wee bit of depth that we need in behind Adam Idah, in terms of another striker, another option through the middle. Because Kuhn, Maeda, Idah, Jota, though that's an elite 4 players to have, in my opinion. An elite 4 players to have. You have the 2 best wingers in the country, maybe the 2 best wingers this country's seen in a long time. You've then got Jota coming back, who was the best winger, I think. You've got the 3 best wingers that this country's seen in a long time. But let's just call that like that is, right? And then you've got Idah, who I think is turning a corner in his form. Doubt him at your peril. Let the criticism be as loud as the... Sorry. Let the praise be as loud as the criticism, I should say. I thought he was brilliant today. Absolutely brilliant. And within half an hour, we found our second goal. But let's talk about the equaliser first, shall we? Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place just trying to get this up. The goal that we can see is sloppy, it's poor. It all comes from Callum McGregor giving the ball away. Congratulations to him on 500 Celtic appearances, by the way. That shouldn't be missed out. What an achievement. It's not very often we see players hitting 500 at a football club or at Celtic. So, fair play to him. Congrats to him. However, why are you giving the ball away like that, Callum, son? What are you doing? I forgive you, trust me. Your 500 games of service makes up for a wee mistake like that. But the defending on top of it isn't great. I think Cameron Carter-Vickers is far too weak. I don't see how you can shout for a foul there. I know a lot of people will be going, it was fouled. It wasn't fouled. It was far too weak. Far too weak. He's got to be stronger, and Armstrong is there to punish Trusty on his mistake. It's annoying because I feel like Trusty has done such a good job in getting a bit of form behind him, and then he goes out and makes a couple of wee mistakes, and it makes people reset their opinions on him. It's back to, he's not good enough. I still truly believe that Trusty is good enough. I really like Austin Trusty, but he needs to eliminate these wee moments of doubt in his game. As Sutton quite clearly pointed out and quite rightly pointed out, he has to expect that ball falling to him. Now I know it's easy to go, it's fell to him and he's not been ready or whatever. No, he had plenty of time. He should have been ready there. It's poor from Trusty, but he'll know that, and he'll try and make sure it doesn't happen again. He had more than a good enough game besides that, but that's what I mean. It's moments like that will have Celtic supporters constantly rewriting the narrative on you. We've seen it with a million different players, so you need to eliminate those sort of mistakes. We are punished, but we answered back so strongly, because the rest of the first half we were just brilliant. I thought we were doing everything right, we were controlling the game. Adam Ida, I need to talk about him because I thought he was brilliant today, just like he was on Wednesday night as well at Villa Park. I thought he was really good. His movement, I thought, was brilliant. He was listen, we had the ball in the net 4 times today, and one of the times when the goal was chopped off was because of his great work with the ball, and it was in the second half, I know, but still, he was just brilliant. First half in particular, I thought his movement was great. I think the way that he was allowing other players to come into the game by moving into certain areas was great. I think he was really responsible for a lot of what we were doing in the final third. Just looked like a man that oozed confidence. He hit the post this afternoon. He could have had another couple on top of this one he had, and he's there to finish off a fantastic play. A fantastic bit of football, just like the first goal. It's so nice in the eye, the build up to that goal, and Maida's cross is inch perfect for him, and he is always anticipating the speed of these wingers, the speed of Maida in particular. You know, he always is moving into the areas anticipating Maida's pace, and that's just so important in a striker like Ida. And I think that's maybe what's been missing from him. And this is a huge chance. This is going to be a string of games for him now to build that confidence. And you're seeing it come through. It's almost as if he's not had these chances to string the confidence together. With sharing that position with Kyogo through the entirety of the season thus far, it's not been easy for Ida to get that string of games to really get his confidence together in an order. But today, and I think at Villa Park, you're seeing that. He's been given the starts, he's got the opportunity. Maybe the pressure is off him a little bit as well, knowing that nobody's really there to take his spot at the minute. And maybe that's just allowing him to play better. I don't know what it is, but today I just thought he was brilliant. And as I said, let the praise be as loud as the disrespect. This is why you have to be patient with Celtic players. And I'm not going on here to say that, that's it, it's fine, everything's good, he's just got to be cracking from here on out and we're never going to see a bad game from him ever again. Of course, I'm not saying that. He needs to prove it on a consistent basis now, on a long-term basis from now to the end of the season. But I truly believe he can do that, because I've stuck by him thus far. I will continue to stick by him, and I do believe that he was worth every penny we fucking spent on him. So, brilliant from him. Brilliant first half, in total control. That carried through into the second. Second half, Motherwell weren't even in it. They weren't even in it. Great game management from Celtic just to drain Motherwell out of the game. You know, every time that, even if we had the ball and we couldn't necessarily make a chance, we'd move the ball in a way that just allowed Motherwell to drain themselves, just to chase and chase and chase. And they couldn't get anywhere near us. I think, did they end up with a shot in the second half? I think they might have ended up with one, but up until the 80th minute, they had no shot. They just weren't in it at all. Celtic dominated. We probably should have had another couple. As I said, the ball was in the back of the net twice. Right, I need to talk about this offside. I feel like this is going to be a very long match reaction. I've yapped and yapped and yapped. Get rid of VAR. Get fucking rid of it. There's no point in having it in this country. That is a shocker of a decision this afternoon for me. You can't even tell if that's offside from the angle. See, until we can provide angles that are conclusive to the call that the referee or the VAR officials make in Clydesdale House, give us good angles before you actually use it, because that's not conclusive. Nobody can tell if that. You're telling me that there's somebody in that Clydesdale House who's confident that he is offside there. Away and take your face for a shite, because there is no chance that is conclusive and offside. I think it's a shocker of a decision. If anything, I think he's onside. I think they're perfectly level, but you can't tell how shite that angle is. Until VAR can be used properly and operated properly in every ground in this country, and Celtic Park's not immune to this. Some of the angles in Celtic Park are bad, but until it can be operated and executed to the level it should be, it shouldn't be a fucking thing. Celtic were disallowed a goal today, which I think was perfectly fine. I'm not going to cry about it because we've won the game, even though it sounds like I've been crying about it, but it's a terrible decision. Obviously, the Kuhn one, different. That was clearly offside. You can see that was clearly offside. But the disallowed own goal, which was really made by Adam Ida's great movement, chopped off unfairly, in my opinion. But Celtic saw it. They didn't let it get them down. They kept going. They kept their grip on the game. And obviously, we know what comes towards the end. Before I do get to Jota and before I do talk about that final goal in the game today, I need to give a shout out to certain players and things that I've seen in the game today. I completely forgot to mention the partnership between Luke McCowan and Dyson Maeda towards the left side of the midfield today. I thought it was fantastic. They looked so natural playing together for a pair of players who, in the grand scheme of things, haven't played an awful lot of football together. You know, McCowan's been in and out the team, and obviously we've seen wingers changing and stuff. They were same wavelength constantly today, and that was just absolutely magic. I really enjoyed watching them. I think defensively we had a strong game, and Anthony Ralston I thought was great. A couple of wee moments where you're like, oh, Tony, come on now. But generally, a good game from him, a strong game from him. Yeah, I thought we played really, really well. And I think those moments between Maeda and McCowan in particular were a joy to watch. So, yeah, I had to mention that. I guess we should talk about Jota. How good is it to see him back? How good is it? And, you know, he gets a goal today, which is beautiful. I couldn't have asked for anything more than that, to be quite honest. But the fact that, you know, he is probably operating at less than 50% of what he can give Celtic, and he was still just brilliant to watch. You know, he was so ambitious, so just that delicate way on the ball, which we grew to love before he left. Man, it's just so good to see him back. I'm genuinely so chuffed about it. Arguably, it could be my favourite outfield player in recent years at Celtic. He might be there. I was devastated when he left, if you remember rightly. And to have him back is just huge on so many different levels for so many reasons. He looks so natural on that left-hand side, more so than he did on the right today. I thought it's got to be hard for him to get into this team, isn't it? Because Maeda and Kuhn are playing so well. So it's got to be interesting to see how Rodgers makes it work. Of course, you've always got to prepare for the likes of Kuhn leaving, maybe, or even Maeda leaving. Touch wood, and that doesn't happen anytime soon. But you've got to prepare. Forward thinking is key. And yeah. Listen, he just, I love him. I love him, and he's back. Gorgeous. And you just know he's so happy to be back here. I don't think he'll be in any rush to leave ever again. You've seen what it meant to him scoring that goal. Maeda's cross is brilliant. He's so off balance when he gets it in, and then Jota, he's never missing it. Welcome back. Just welcome back, Jota. I wasn't at the fan media press conference, sadly, for his announcement, for his unveiling, I should say. I wish I was, so I could have told him it firsthand, but I love you, son. I love you. Right, this has went on too long. Another win, top of the table. Huge couple of days now coming up for Celtic as the transfer window ends, so bear with me. There's going to be a lot of content, including a deadline day stream tomorrow night. So until I see you next, take care of yourselves. Hail, hail, and see you next time.